Coach, what type of impact, if any, has Chuck Cecil made on the program?
Well, just having him around, having us what I call veteran seasoned eyes. He's been able to take it. I think he's still learning our system. So as he learns what we're doing in all three phases, he'll be able to give some more input on suggestions. What I told him to do is just kind of be an observer of practice, tell us some things that he can help us, and go from there. So it's still early, but he's a great guy. I'm glad he's with us.
It seemed like some of the guys were surprised to learn that he was a walk-on here. Is that an inspirational story for people?
Well, I think it is. We take a lot of pride in think we have the best walk-on program in the country, and I even told him that. I said, you talk about a story that I've been saying it for years now. That, you can achieve all your goals if you get an opportunity, and we'll give you that as a quality walk-on. And Chuck's a prime example of that. He was a great player here, great player in the NFL, and college Hall of Famer. And I think it's while we're recruiting and trying to get quality walk-ons, all we got to do is point down the hallway and say, look what this guy did.
So you guys put on the pads for the first time today. What stood out to you?
It was a pretty competitive day. I was really pleased. The offense came out on top at the end there, but I think we got a little bit tired, especially on defense. When the offense was going up tempo a little bit, it was probably sloppy. And watching the film, I'll probably verify that. But the guys are working hard and paying attention, and it's a fun group to coach. I get frustrated on some of the stuff that's not necessarily football scheme stuff. It's more managing stuff of, when we tackle, when we don't tackle, and how to practice. It seems like I'm always yelling in the beginning of camp on how you're supposed to practice, and we'll eventually get that right.
You're approaching recruiting as if the December signing period is the goal now.
Yeah, it is. The signing date is now in December. I still, you guys that have been around still think it's ridiculous that we even have one. We should have no signing period. So they say, well, December's the early signing period. It is the signing period. It's like before, in February, you didn't have to sign on the first Wednesday in February. You could have waited. But the only way to clean the true recruiting up is to make more of a drastic measure. But December's better than February, but that's not what I would have voted for.
Does that change your approach at all to how you recruit guys?
Not really. I think because the calendar hasn't changed yet. Next year it changes. We have official visits in April, May, and June, which is ridiculous too. But you do have to have a sense of urgency. But there'll be a lot of good players still available after December. Not all of them will sign then, but you've got to be pretty aggressive in the fall recruiting, more aggressive than normal probably.
When the pads go on for the first time, is there anything you look for in particular with the new guys?
I guess you're just looking for the physicalness. We start off at the beginning of practice with what we call a boards drill and a W drill, and those are live, face-to-face, quick contact, and the enthusiasm was great there, and that's the first day of pads. We always kind of start off with those two things to let guys get physical. Not everybody was getting reps. We try to get a lot of the young guys reps, but we'll keep doing that until we can clarify who's ready to play physically.
Who figures out the matchups in those board drills?
I'll let the coaches pick, the position coaches. They throw in who they want, and it's usually a veteran against a veteran, but not always. And our coaches do a good job of trying to get a look and finding out. And especially some of them, like the board drill. I don't know how true football related it is, because you're just two guys banging heads, and I don't want to do it at long distance because I don't want the whole head banging thing to happen, but it shows who's ready, like power wise and strength wise, to compete this level.
How did the quarterbacks respond to
better today
pads and so forth today?
Yeah, today was better. They still missed some things, but the young group, the freshmen, the 4 freshman quarterbacks have learned more. I told the team that I've learned more in 3 or 4 days of practice than probably any group of freshman quarterbacks I've ever had. And the freshman safeties that we have probably learned more in a short period of time than any group we've had. So that's been really pleasing.
Does Rhett know the playbook better than any other quarterback?
Well, Rhett he knows it well. I think, Brandon's been an assistant 4 years, so I think Brandon has executed it. But, Rhett should know it. He's been around it quite a bit, but this is his first time really practicing, so I don't want to have unrealistic expectations, though, even though he's been around and knows, the system, that, he's still got a, freshman, and things going to happen pretty quick. But, all those, like I said, those 4 freshman quarterbacks we've got have been impressive from a knowledge standpoint, and Coach Smith has done a good job with them too.
I know that nothing is etched in stone, but is it fair to say that 3 of the 5 offensive line spots are pretty secure and that the other 2 are kind of up for grabs?
I think, yeah, I'm not ready to declare a depth chart of starters, but Jacob Alsadek, we know what he can do, and Leif and Nate Eldridge, but they still all got to get a little bit better. Christian Betcher's been playing pretty well. Gerhard de Beer has been banged up, but he's practicing. And Cody Creason's played. I'm still concerned on our depth there. Coach Michalczyk is really trying to work and get some of the young guys ready, because that's probably overall the O-line and D-line. I'm worried the most about our depth.
What kind of potential does Tony Fields have?
Tony's got. He's going to play this year. He's still got to learn. Sometimes we forget because he enrolled early that he's a true freshman, but very athletic, and he's going to have a great career, I think.
Speaking of potential, how about a local guy like Drew Dixon? What do you think about what he's turned in so far? A kid from Sabino, 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he's got all the measurables. He's tall, he's physical, he's a good athlete, got good ball skills. He's just figuring out where to line up. I think we got him facing forward now, and then we got him coming off the ball. The next thing you know is where to go, how deep to run the routes, and all that stuff. But no, Drew's going to be a good player. We're still working through some clearinghouse things because he missed a little bit. He was back practicing today because we put an appeal in. But what we've seen, a little bit of what we've seen, and we're very excited about Drew Dixon.
How was Donovan Taylor?
Donovan, it was live for him for the first time today, and he's an athletic, tough guy. He's still stuck his face in there. I mean, he's drinking water through a fire hose, right now, and it's he hadn't played live football in 7 or 8 years, and it's like maybe I don't know if he ever ran into a catcher or something, or tried to break up a double play, but he had about 6 or 7 of those today. But I'm excited about him too. He's a grown man, and we coach him like a grown man, but. He's got some skills. I think he can definitely compete for the job.
Is he subject to contact along with the other freshman quarterbacks? Is that how
the only guy who was in red today was Brandon. And if Brandon, gets to the point where I think he needs to get tackled because he's not carrying the ball or securing the ball right or not making the right decisions, we'll put him in white too. But everybody else was on the white jersey. Brandon was in red. So we'll see. If a quarterback comes and does all the right things and he's the second guy or third guy, I may put him in red. But right now, I've got to see more out of him.
All right, everybody. Thank you.